I'm standing on the sidewalk with a trash bag of clothes. It's my 18th birthday. 20 minutes ago, at my own birthday party, my stepmother kicked me out, screamed at me in front of 20 people. Sign this right now or leave forever. That 1.4 million. Never meant for a little brat like you. I didn't sign. She threw me out anyway. But here's what my stepmother didn't know. My mother saw this coming 5 years ago. Before she died, she gave one person the power to stop it. That person was standing across the street watching the whole thing, waiting. A stranger walked over, handed me a business card, whispered 4 words. Your mother trusted me. Let me back up. My name is Ensley. I'm 18 years old today, and I just learned my mother left me $1.4 million in a trust fund. I didn't know about it until this morning. My mother died when I was 13. Pancreatic cancer. 6 months from diagnosis to gone. In those final weeks, she was in and out of consciousness. I'd sit by her bed, hold her hand. Sometimes she'd wake up and smile at me. Other times, she'd cry. I remember one afternoon in particular. March 7th, 3 weeks before she died. She'd been asleep for hours. Then suddenly her eyes opened. She looked right at me. Her hand squeezed mine so hard it hurt. Ensley, promise me something. Anything, Mom. No matter what happens after I'm gone, don't let them take what's yours. What I've built for you. Promise me. I promise. She closed her eyes again. I didn't know what she meant. I thought she was talking about her jewelry, maybe some photos, things a 13-year-old would think about. I didn't know she meant $1.4 million. 2 months after the funeral, my father married Catherine. I remember thinking it was too fast. We hadn't even cleared out Mom's closet yet. Her perfume was still on the bathroom counter, her coffee mug still in the cabinet. Catherine had a daughter from a previous marriage, Sienna, 12 years old. Blonde, cheerful, everything I wasn't after losing my mom. She moved into the house the same week Catherine did. Took the guest room, the room where my mom used to do her quilting. Catherine moved into our house, my mother's house, the house my parents had bought when I was born, the house where every wall held a memory. Within 6 months, everything changed. Photos of my mom came down, not all at once. Slowly. 1 week, the family portrait in the living room disappeared. Then the wedding photo in the hallway. Then the picture of her holding me as a baby. When I asked where they went, Catherine said they were in storage. Your father thought it would be easier to move forward without constant reminders. I never saw them again. Her piano sold. The one she'd played every Sunday morning. The one she'd been teaching me on. Catherine said it took up too much space. We needed room for a bigger TV. I became invisible. For my 14th birthday, Catherine threw Sienna a surprise party. Same day as mine. Same house. 50 people. A DJ. Catered food. Balloons everywhere. No one mentioned my birthday. Not once. When I came downstairs that morning, Catherine was setting up. Oh, Ensley, happy birthday. There's a card on the kitchen table. $20 inside. No name, no message. Just a $20 bill and a blank card. For my 15th birthday, they went to Disneyland. Booked it months in advance. Dad, Catherine, and Sienna. 3 days, 2 nights. Grand Californian Hotel. They left me home. Catherine said someone needed to watch the house, feed the cat, water the plants. I spent my 15th birthday alone, ate leftover pizza, watched TV, cried myself to sleep. By 16, I stopped hoping. This morning, a FedEx envelope arrived. Thick, official, heavy. My father was already at the breakfast table when I came down. Catherine was making coffee. She saw the envelope first. That's for Ensley. My father picked it up, looked at the return address. First Heritage Trust. His hand shook slightly. Open it. Now. Inside was a letter. Formal. Typed on cream-colored paper. I read it twice before the words made sense. We are pleased to inform you that on your 18th birthday, you become the beneficiary of the Ensley Marie Davidson Irrevocable Trust, established by your mother, Rebecca Davidson, on January 14th, 2018. Current value, $1,400,000. I looked up. My father's face was white. Catherine was reading over my shoulder. 1.4 million. My mother had hidden $1.4 million. For me. 5 years ago. Catherine's hand closed around my wrist. Tight. Too tight. You need to sign something. Today. We'll talk about this at your party tonight. What party? Your birthday party. Tonight. I told you last week. She hadn't. She'd mentioned it yesterday. In passing. Just family, she'd said. Nothing big. The party was already planned. Catherine insisted. Small gathering, she said. Just family. I should have known better. Nothing Catherine did was ever small. That evening, 20 people showed up. My father's business partners, Catherine's country club friends, Sienna's boyfriend's parents. People I'd never met. Not a single person I knew. Not one friend from school. Not my former piano teacher who'd been close with my mom. Not my aunt on my mother's side. No one who actually cared about me, because Catherine told me not to invite anyone. Keep it small, she said. Just close family and a few friends. Her friends. Not mine. The house looked different. Decorated. Black and gold balloons. A banner that said Happy Birthday Ensley in elegant script. Catherine had hired caterers, servers in white shirts carrying trays of champagne and hors d'oeuvres. It looked expensive. Planned. Like she'd been preparing for weeks. I stood in the corner of my own party, wearing a dress Catherine had bought me that morning. Navy blue. Conservative. Not something I would have chosen. People talked around me, about golf, about their vacation homes, about their kids' college acceptances. No one asked me about college. No one asked me anything. At 7:30, the lights dimmed. Someone rolled out a cart with a 3-tier cake, white fondant, gold trim, 18 tall taper candles flickering. Everyone gathered around. Catherine positioned herself right next to me, put her arm around my shoulders. The first time she'd touched me with affection in months, maybe years. Her smile was perfect. Camera ready. Someone was taking photos. Sing. Everyone. They sang. Happy birthday, dear Ensley. The wrong inflection. The way strangers sing when they don't really know you. Make a wish, sweetheart. Catherine's voice was honey sweet. Her arm tightened around my shoulders. I closed my eyes. Made a wish. Not for anything good. Just for this to be over. I blew out the candles. Everyone clapped. Polite applause. The kind you give at a work function. Catherine kept smiling, kept her arm around me. Then she reached over to the side table, picked up a folder. Burgundy leather. Expensive. This is your real present, Ensley. From all of us. We need you to sign these papers tonight. Just a formality. To protect the family. I opened the folder. 10 pages. Legal size. Dense paragraphs. Terms I didn't understand. But I could read the headers. Petition for modification of irrevocable trust. Appointment of co-trustee Catherine Morgan. Beneficial interest partial waiver. Equitable distribution agreement. I read faster. My name. Catherine's name. Sienna's name. They wanted me to make Catherine a co-trustee, give her equal control over the money, sign away 50% of my beneficial interest. Translation. I'd be giving up my right to half the money, transfer $700,000 to Sienna. My mother's money, split in half, given to a girl who wasn't even in my mother's life. The room felt smaller, hotter. 20 faces watching me. Dad, what is this? My father was standing near the fireplace, drink in hand. He wouldn't meet my eyes. Just sign it, Ensley. It's for the family. I looked back at the papers. Found a paragraph halfway down page 3. The beneficiary acknowledges that equitable distribution serves the best interests of all family members and waives any objection to modification of trust terms. I looked at Catherine. She was still smiling, but her eyes weren't. This isn't what my mother wanted. Her smile tightened. Your mother would want you to share with your sister. Sienna deserves this too. She's part of this family. It's only fair. Sienna wasn't my sister. Not really. She was Catherine's daughter. A girl who'd moved into my house, taken my mother's space, lived off my father's money for 5 years. My mother had never met her. Never known she existed. I put the folder down on the coffee table. I'm not signing this. The room went completely silent. Someone's champagne glass paused halfway to their lips. The caterer froze in the doorway. Catherine's arm dropped from my shoulders. Excuse me? I'm not signing it. This money was my mother's. She left it to me. Not to Sienna. Not to you. Catherine's face changed. Every line of fake warmth vanished. Her voice dropped low. Cold. You're 18 now, Ensley. An adult. You have choices to make. If you want to continue living in this house, eating our food, using our resources, you'll sign those papers. I looked around the room. 20 people. Not one of them was looking at me now. They were studying their drinks, their phones, the wallpaper. I looked at my father. Dad? He was staring at the floor, his jaw tight. When he finally looked up, his eyes were somewhere past my shoulder. Ensley, don't make this harder than it needs to be. Just sign it. We're a family. Families share. We weren't a family. We'd stopped being a family the day my mother died. Maybe before that. Maybe the moment my father met Catherine. Catherine picked up the folder, held it out to me. Last chance. Sign it now. Or you can leave. I stood there. My own birthday party. My own house. My mother's house. And I was being given an ultimatum. I looked at the folder, at Catherine's perfectly manicured hand holding it. I thought about my mother, lying in that hospital bed, squeezing my hand. Don't let them take what's yours. I'm not signing. Catherine's hand didn't move. For 5 seconds, no one breathed. Then she walked to the front door, opened it wide. The cool evening air rushed in. Then get out. Right now. Tonight. Still, no one moved. No one spoke. 20 people watching a daughter get thrown out on her birthday. Dad. My father took a long drink. Didn't look at me. Catherine went upstairs. I heard her footsteps. Hard. Fast. Drawers opening. Slamming. She came back with a trash bag. Black plastic. The kind you use for leaves. She'd thrown some of my clothes in it. Not even folded. Just shoved in. Jeans, a few shirts, my winter coat. Your clothes. The rest stays here. Everything in this house belongs to this family. You're not taking anything that we paid for. She dropped the bag at my feet. I looked at my father one more time. He was staring into his drink, his hand shaking slightly. 20 people. Not one of them said a word. I picked up the trash bag, walked to the door. My father finally spoke. Ensley, don't be stupid. Just sign the damn papers. Stop being selfish. I turned around. The man standing there looked like my father. Same eyes, same face. But someone different was living inside. Everything had changed. I walked out. Catherine slammed the door behind me, hard enough that I heard the picture frames rattle inside. I stood on the sidewalk in my birthday dress, holding a trash bag of clothes, with nowhere to go. 18 years old, homeless. On my birthday, the night was cold. October in New England. I could see my breath. That's when I saw her. A woman in her 60s. Gray hair pulled back. Glasses. Navy blazer. She'd been at the party. Standing near the bookshelf. I'd assumed she was someone's wife. Someone's guest. She was standing across the street now. Watching. She crossed over. Walked right up to me. Ensley Davidson? I nodded. I couldn't speak. My throat was too tight. Your mother was my best friend. My name is Helen Chen. I'm a lawyer. Your mother made me promise something 5 years ago. She said if this day ever came, I should be here. I should help you. She reached into her purse, pulled out a business card. Cream-colored. Elegant. Helen Chen. Esque. Trust and estate law. Your mother trusted me. Call me tomorrow morning. First thing. We have a lot to talk about. She looked back at the house. The lights still on. The party still going. I could hear laughter inside. She looked back at me. Your mother knew this would happen. She prepared for it. You're going to be okay. Then she got in her car and drove away. I stood there on the sidewalk, holding the card, holding the trash bag. For the first time all day, I felt something other than fear. I felt hope. I spent that night in a motel. Cheapest one I could find. The Starlight Inn on Route 42. $49 a night. I didn't sleep. I kept thinking about what Mrs. Chen said. Your mother knew this would happen. At 8 a.m., I called the number on the card. She answered on the first ring. Ensley, come to my office. I'll text you the address. 1 hour later, I was sitting in her conference room. Wood-paneled walls, leather chairs, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking downtown. Mrs. Chen sat across from me. She slid a folder across the table. Your mother came to me in January of 2018, 5 months before she died. She knew what was going to happen. What do you mean? She knew your father was seeing Catherine. She'd hired a private investigator. She knew Catherine had her eye on the estate. She knew if she didn't act, you'd lose everything. Mrs. Chen opened the folder. These are the documents your mother created. An irrevocable trust. That means once it's established, no one can change it. Not your father. Not Catherine. Not even you, until you're 25. But Catherine wants me to sign something. Those papers are worthless. They can't modify an irrevocable trust without court approval. And no judge would approve it. Your mother made sure of that. I stared at the trust document. My mother's signature at the bottom. Witness signatures, notary stamp. January 14th, 2018. So the money is mine? Yes. But there's more. Mrs. Chen opened a drawer, pulled out an iPad, and pressed play. Suddenly, my mother's face filled the screen. Her voice. I hadn't heard it in 5 years. I forgot how to breathe. The video was dated February 3rd, 2018. 2 months before she died. She was sitting in a hospital bed. Thin. Pale. But her eyes were clear. Hi, sweetheart. If you're watching this, it means I'm gone. And it means Mrs. Chen is showing you this because something happened. Something I was afraid would happen. She paused, took a breath. I know your father. I loved him once. But I also know his weakness. He's afraid of being alone. He'll find someone quickly, and that someone might not have your best interests at heart. So I did something. I put the money where no one can touch it. Not your father. Not whoever he marries. Just you. When you're 18, you get access to half. When you're 25, you get the rest. But here's what's important. I also set up a protection plan. Mrs. Chen has instructions. If anyone tries to force you to sign anything, she's going to document every single thing they do. Every threat. Every manipulation. Every lie. Because here's what I learned in my last months. People show you who they are when they think you can't fight back. Let them show you. Then use it. The video ended. I sat there, tears running down my face. Mrs. Chen handed me a tissue. Your mother was very smart and very thorough. She gave me 5 tools to protect you. I'm going to teach you how to use every single one. Over the next week, Mrs. Chen taught me 5 things. 5 weapons my mother had hidden for me. The first was the video. My mother's face on that screen, her voice explaining everything. That wasn't just emotional. It was legal proof. Proof she was of sound mind when she created the trust. Proof she knew exactly what might happen. It showed her intent. No court could ignore it. The second was the paper trail. Every signature on the trust had been notarized. Mrs. Chen showed me how to verify a notary's authenticity. The state database is public. You can look up any notary commission online in under 2 minutes. Every signature on my mother's trust had a case number we could verify. All legitimate, all documented. The third was handwriting analysis. Mrs. Chen spread out samples of my mother's signature. 20 years of checks, birthday cards, grocery lists. If someone tried to forge my mother's signature on any document, we could prove it. Look at 3 things, she said. Slant, pressure, letter height. Even without an expert, patterns are obvious when you know what to look for. The fourth was forensic accounting, basically financial detective work. If money was missing, if assets had been moved, we could trace every dollar. Mrs. Chen had already hired an investigator. He was looking into my father's finances, checking for transfers, checking for hidden accounts. The fifth was documentation. Document everything. Every conversation, every threat, every text message. Save it all. Time-stamped, backed up. Build a file so complete that no one can deny what happened. The text started 2 days later. Come home. We'll forget this happened. Just sign the papers. I showed Mrs. Chen. She smiled. Save that. Time will come when we'll need it. Then Catherine called, crying. Ensley, I'm so sorry. I overreacted. Come home. We'll work this out. I recorded the call. Kept it. 3 days later, another text from my father. You're being selfish. Your mother would be ashamed. I saved that one too. 1 week later, an email from Catherine. If you don't come back and sign those papers, you'll never see your father again. I'll make sure of it. By the end of week 1, Mrs. Chen was building a file 3 inches thick. Every threat, every manipulation, every lie, all documented, all time-stamped, all backed up. But we weren't ready to act yet, because Mrs. Chen was waiting for something bigger. She was waiting for them to make a mistake. 4 weeks after I moved out, Mrs. Chen got a call from the bank that held the trust account. Someone had submitted paperwork trying to access the funds, a petition to modify the trust, with my signature on it. I hadn't signed anything. Mrs. Chen requested copies of the documents. When they arrived, I saw my name on the signature line, but it wasn't my signature. They forged it. Mrs. Chen smiled. Now we have them. She called a handwriting expert. He analyzed the signature. Compared it to my real signatures. His report was clear. The signature was forged, and poorly. Whoever did it hadn't even tried to match my actual handwriting style. But there was more. The document had been notarized by a notary named Patricia Reeves. Mrs. Chen looked her up. Patricia had been a notary for 15 years. No complaints, no violations. Mrs. Chen called her. Patricia, do you remember notarizing a trust modification document for Ensley Davidson? Silence on the other end. Then, I need to speak to my lawyer. 2 days later, Patricia's lawyer called back. She was willing to cooperate. She'd been paid $500 by Catherine Morgan to notarize the document. Catherine had told her I'd signed it earlier that day, but I was out of town now. The notarization was backdated. That's a crime. Patricia knew. She was terrified. She agreed to testify. Mrs. Chen filed a complaint with the district attorney. Forgery, notary fraud, attempted theft. All felonies. 2 weeks later, Catherine and my father were arrested. The hearing was 4 months later. Civil court first. Catherine was contesting the trust, claiming my mother wasn't of sound mind when she created it, claiming she'd been coerced. Mrs. Chen walked into that courtroom with a file 3 inches thick. She played my mother's video. The judge watched my mother explain exactly what she was doing and why. Clear, rational, thorough. Then Mrs. Chen presented the notary records. All legitimate, all verified. Then the handwriting expert's report, the forged signature, the attempt to steal the money, then Patricia's testimony. Catherine had paid her to backdate the notarization. Catherine had known the signature was forged. Then every text message, every email, every recorded phone call, 6 weeks of threats and manipulation. The judge didn't need long to decide. The trust stands. Ms. Davidson's mother's intent is clear. Any attempt to modify it is denied. Then he looked at Catherine. You will face criminal charges for forgery and fraud. This court is referring this matter to the district attorney. Catherine's lawyer tried to object. The judge cut him off. 6 months later, Catherine pleaded guilty to forgery and notary fraud. She got 18 months in prison. Suspended sentence, probation. But a felony conviction. My father wasn't charged criminally. The DA decided he'd been manipulated by Catherine, but he lost everything else. His law license. An ethics board found he'd knowingly participated in an attempt to defraud his own daughter. 40 years of building a practice. Gone. Some consequences don't need a courtroom. He couldn't practice law anymore. That was 2 years ago. The first year after the trial, I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw my father's face in that courtroom, the moment the judge read the ruling, the way he looked at me, like he finally understood what he'd lost. But something changed last year. I'm 20 now. The money is in the trust, managed by Mrs. Chen until I'm 25. She pays for my college, my apartment, everything I need. I haven't spoken to my father since the hearing. He sent a letter 6 months ago, apologizing, saying Catherine had manipulated him, asking if we could talk. Mrs. Chen asked what I wanted to do. I don't know. Part of me wants to forgive him. Part of me knows what he did. He chose Catherine over me. He stood there while she threw me out. He tried to steal my mother's money. Mrs. Chen said something I'll never forget. Forgiveness doesn't mean reconciliation. You can forgive someone and still protect yourself. You can acknowledge someone made a mistake and still maintain boundaries. I haven't responded to his letter. Maybe someday I will. Maybe not. But I learned something through all of this. Your worth isn't determined by people who didn't see your value. Your family isn't blood. It's choice. Mrs. Chen became more of a mother to me in 6 months than Catherine ever was. She didn't have to help me. She could have just executed the trust and walked away. But she stayed. She taught me. She protected me. That's family. Last month, I used some of the trust money to start a scholarship fund, the Rebecca Davidson Memorial Scholarship, for kids who lose a parent, who need help paying for college, who don't have anyone to fight for them. My mother fought for me before I even knew I needed it. Now I'm going to fight for others. That's what she would have wanted. Mrs. Chen gave me one more thing from my mother. A letter. To be opened on my 25th birthday. I still have 7 years to wait. But I know what it'll say. She'll tell me she's proud. She'll tell me she knew I'd be strong. She'll tell me she loved me. Because she already did. 5 years before she died. She showed me. If you have aging parents, make sure they have a protection plan in place. Estate planning isn't just for the wealthy. It's for anyone who wants to make sure their children are taken care of. My mother saved my life with a trust, a lawyer, and a video. 3 simple things. You can do the same. And if someone ever tries to take what's rightfully yours, remember this. Document everything. Save every text. Record every threat. Build a paper trail. Because truth is the best weapon you'll ever have.